Hi guys, come along with me to Tesco to get everything we need for a week of delicious eating. For fruit, we just got some strawberries and some clementines. And then for the week's veggies, I just got some tomatoes, a packet of 2 avocados, some tender stem broccoli, garlic, and then just some green beans, as well as a packet of sweet potato. I also stocked up on some eggs. We got fat-free cottage cheese, some cream, and then also a tin of the chopped tomatoes. I also got some rice cakes for lunch. And then just a bottle of the peach Lipton iced tea and a carton of 6 liters of milk. And then just a loaf of cheddar bread, a chicken and a beef stock, and also just some granola for breakfast. On the menu for Monday's dinner was a delicious tomato stew. So I just started off by sauteing some onions and a green pepper. And then I just browned my mince and added a few spices and chicken stock. And then I added a few chunks of tomato. I served it with this cheddar loaf. So that is what the dinner looked like for Monday, a delicious tomato stew. On Tuesday, we had another stew. So I just added my beef, red onion, garlic, carrots, and potatoes to an oven dish. I seasoned it with salt, pepper, and then just a little bit of oregano. As well as a little bit of this braai salt. And then I just proceeded to make a little bit of a sauce. So that's just some tomato sauce and olive oil. Measure with your heart. Some Worcester sauce. And then just a good helping of some tomato paste. And then I also just added 1 block of the beef stock. And just about 1 tablespoon of the flour to thicken up the sauce. I also just added a little bit of hot water just to dissolve the stock and the flour. And then I just gave that a good mix. And then I just added the sauce over my meat and my veggies. I then just gave everything a good mix before proceeding to cook my stew in the oven for about an hour against 180 degrees Celsius. After an hour, I dissolved another block of the beef stew in some hot water, in about a cup of hot water, and then I just added it to my stew and proceed to cook it for another hour to allow the meat to become nice and soft. I just served that with some rice and tender stem broccoli. For Wednesday night's dinner, we just had some creamy garlic chicken. I just started off by grilling my chicken in a pan, and then I also just cooked some green beans and some mash or some potatoes for the mash on the side. I then just sauteed my finely chopped onion and my garlic in the same pan juices. Then I grilled my chicken in. I then just cooked the chicken in some chicken stock and added some of my favorite spices. And then I just added some butter, some cottage cheese, and some parsley before mashing my potatoes. And I've just served that with the green beans. On Thursday, we went out for the evening a little bit. We had a few beers and we just decided to get some fish and chips. And on Friday, we just had a South African meal, which is called pap with steak. And on Saturday, I just made this chicken tomato based pasta with some leftover pop with milk and sugar for dessert. My filming went a little bit south towards the end of last week, but on Sunday we were back on track and I prepared a nice Sunday roast for us, or at least our version of a Sunday roast. So I just started off by preparing my veggies and cutting it into smaller pieces. So on the menu for Sunday lunch/dinner was just some roast potato, and then I had some chicken breasts in the fridge that I wanted to use. So I just made a little bit of a chutney mayonnaise sauce, and I cooked my chicken in that sauce in the oven, and then I proceeded to make some sweet potato cakes to serve with that. So after I cut up my veggies, I just butterflied 4 of the chicken breasts and laid it out in an oven dish. And then I just proceeded to season it with a little bit of olive oil, salt, pepper, some garlic powder and some rosemary. You can use any spices that you prefer. I then also just started to make the cook-in sauce. Once again, I just measure with my heart, so that is just some mayonnaise and some chutney that I've mixed together. I've also added a little bit of paprika, and then I also had a little bit of cream left over from the week, so I just added that to the sauce as well. I also just cooked my potato until soft, and then I've just proceeded to season them and bake them in the air fryer. I then started with my sweet potato cake mixture, so that's just 2 cups of the sweet potato that I've cooked and mashed. Then it's a half a cup of flour or 125 ml, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, and then about a quarter cup of just some white sugar, and then just 1 tablespoon of butter. I then just gave that a good mix. And then I just proceeded to add in 2 eggs as well to my mixture. Once your mixture is done, you're just gonna heat up some olive oil, or I've used vegetable oil, in a pan, and then you're gonna start frying your sweet potato cakes in the oil. So I just made 3 little dumps of the mixture in my pan, and then you're just gonna proceed to fry them on each side. So I would say leave them for about 4 to 5 minutes on each side before turning them or before taking them out, so that they are nice and cooked in the inside as well. So once your sweet potato cakes are a nice golden brown color, you're just going to remove it from the oil, and then I just lay it out in a kitchen towel to allow for all of the remainder of the oil just to drain off of the sweet potato cake. And then I just proceed to sprinkle a little bit of cinnamon sugar over my cakes. You can always just halve the entire mixture if you don't want to make as many of the sweet potato cakes, or if you don't want to spend that much time to prepare sweet potato cakes. I then just started to dish up our lunch, so I just started off by dishing up the kale, and then I just added a chicken breast to each of our plates, and then I just added a few sweet potatoes along with the roast potatoes to the plate, and I've just topped it off with the leftover sauce that I had in my oven dish. So that is what a full week of delicious eating looks like in our house. I think it is a few quick and easy recipes to make that is filled with a lot of good nutrition and veggies, with a few bits and bobs of a little bit more unhealthy but nice and delicious treats here and there. So yeah, if you found some inspo from this video, please like, subscribe and comment in this video if you want to, and be on the lookout for much more similar videos to come.